What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hine Show. In this video, I want to be doing an all-season preview and a 2022 record prediction for the New York Jets. Let's go ahead and get started here. So last season, the Jets were 4-13 with a first-year head coach and Robert Saleh. It was also a rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson. He started the majority of games for the New York Jets. He kind of struggled early on in his rookie year, but as the year continued, he slowly got better and showed some promise towards the end of the season. Wilson started 13 games for the Jets. He was 3-10 as a starter. He had 9 passing touchdowns with 11 interceptions. His completion percentage was 55%, and he threw for over 2,300 yards. Looking at some other players here, Michael Carter, the running back, ran for over 600 yards. He also had 4 rushing touchdowns. Zach Wilson, also he managed to have 4 rushing touchdowns as well this past season. Carter as well, had some receptions. He had over 30 receptions for over 300 yards for the New York Jets. I'm looking here for the, receivers here for the New York Jets this past season. The main receiver last year was Jamison Crowder. He is no longer on the team. Braxton Berrios had over 45 receptions for over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Elijah Moore's rookie campaign, he had over 40 receptions for over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. So there is kind of some promise here for this, Jets team, especially when you look at, their draft that we'll get into here in a little bit. Looking at their defense here, their leading tackler was C.J. Mosley. He had over 160 tackles. After him was Quincy Williams with over 110 tackles. Looking at this Jets team here, the leading sack leader was Quinn Williams with 6 sacks. And their interceptions this past season, I feel like was a kind of a major concern for this Jets team. This Jets team's defense last year was absolutely horrible. For the entire season, the Jets were only able to manage 7 interceptions in 17 games. That is really, really bad. And their sacks, they only had 2 people with 6 sacks or more. One good thing about the Jets is they get back Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson was, a very promising, free agency signing last season, but he got hurt in training camp. He was out for the year last season for the New York Jets. Looking at the Jets here, they had a terrific offseason. They signed Laken Tomlinson to really help improve, this, poor offensive line that the Jets have had for quite some time. They signed C.J. Uzomah. They also signed Tyler Conklin. Tight end was a big concern heading into the offseason for New York Jets. They doubled down, really even tripled down. They also drafted Jeremy Ruckert, the tight end from Ohio State, in the draft. They also signed safety DJ Reed, safety Jordan Whitehead, really helping the secondary because, like I said, the secondary was very, very bad last season for the New York Jets. And they also recently signed Kawan Alexander. So when you look at this Jets, draft, this Jets draft was absolutely phenomenal. They drafted Sauce Gardner, the corner from Cincinnati University. They drafted wide receiver Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. They also drafted Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher from Florida State, with the 26th pick overall, which is wild because many people thought he was going to be their selection with the 10th pick, but that was Garrett Wilson. And they also drafted running back Breece Hall. Those are 4 immediate impact players and stars for the New York Jets. I mean, that is really helping your team out a lot. And they have such a nice future, New York Jets do, because with this young talent they drafted this past year, young talent, they recently, signed players, they drafted last year like Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore. There's lots of, hope to be a Jets fan right now. This team is very interesting. I think they have potential to be very, very good this year. So let's go ahead and look at this, record prediction here for the New York Jets this upcoming season. So I have them winning at Cleveland, winning against the Dolphins, winning at Denver, winning against the New England Patriots, winning against the Bears, the Lions, the Jaguars, and winning in Seattle. Now, I know you look at those, wins there. Maybe they don't beat, the Broncos in Denver, or maybe they don't beat the Patriots. My thing is, I always have every single record prediction I have. I always have a team have an upset victory and an upset loss because it always happens. Look at the Jets last season. They were 4-13, but 2 of those wins, one win was against the Bengals, who played in the Super Bowl this past season, and another one was against the Titans, who had the #1 seed in the AFC. This Jets team, if they were capable of upsets last season, I definitely think they're capable of even more upsets this upcoming season with a far better roster compared to last year. Looking at some of their losses here, I have them losing to the Ravens, the Bengals, at Pittsburgh, at Green Bay, Buffalo, at New England, at Minnesota, at Buffalo, and at Miami. So those are the losses I have for the New York Jets. My record prediction here for the New York Jets is 8-9. I think when you look at the Jets' schedule and you look at the roster they have, I think this could be a very nice season for the New York Jets. I'm looking at 8-9, maybe 9-8, depending how good Zach Wilson plays this season. Like I said, the last 4 or 5 games, Zach Wilson really started to pick it up for the Jets, and you can really see, his potential that he has for New York. So, like I said, my record prediction here for the Jets is 8-9. My ceiling for the New York Jets is 11-6. I think of Zach Wilson. I think he's capable of taking a huge step in his second season. I mean, I don't think he's going to make as big of a step as Burrow or Herbert did this past season, but I think he could be a really nice quarterback if he can stay healthy and, if he's protected well, does not get sacked a ton. But my ceiling for them is 11-6. I think it is, capable of being 11-6 type of season for the Jets if everything pans out well for them. My floor for them is 6-11. Even if Zach Wilson isn't really good this year, I still expect this Jets team to get at least 6 wins because looking at the roster, they're definitely capable of at least 6 wins. But let me know what you think in the comments below about, what you think the Jets record will be this upcoming season. That about does it for this video. If you're new to the channel or if you've seen videos before, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hines Show.